In this Adobe InDesign video, we're going to talk about interactive forms and particularly creating a list box. So review the other videos for radio buttons, combo box, which allow you to make a single selection, and a list box, which actually allow you to make multiple selections. So let's jump right in. Go ahead and close out this PDF and get right into InDesign. So this is what a list box is going to look like. You're going to have a label. That's a text box here. You have your actual frame, which is going to be the list, and you can see the list icon. And then you've got your actual decorative rectangle around it. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and move into a new page here where we have a little bit of space, and go ahead and just create these elements. So your box here needs to be tall enough to be able to display. If you make your rectangle too small, the list box is going to basically try to add a scroll bar to it so you can scroll to see everything. So if that's what you want, it will put a scroll bar in. Otherwise, make sure you make it tall. Put your frame inside of there. So go ahead and click open and put a frame. So I use a rectangle for the actual decorative elements and a frame for my actual boxes here. I'm in the Windows or Workspace Advanced workspace here, so if you want your screen to match mine. And with both of those selected with the select tool, I'm going to align them, click off of it, and now I've just got the frame selected. To create this actual button, this list box button, go to Window and Interactive, and you're going to want Buttons and Forms. So in this case here, it opened up in a separate window. I'll bring it in, and we're going to go ahead and from the type select field, we'll go ahead and make it a list box. List box looks very similar in the interface to a combo box, other than we can actually select multiple items. So again, this is going to be list box, and I'm going to call it desserts, and jump right down here at the very bottom. So in the list items is where you actually list your desserts. For example, pie, right? And you just start dropping them in. Cake. Ice cream, whatever it is that you want to include in this particular list box. Candy, and for your health nuts, we'll put in some fruit, right? Because fruit can be dessert. Okay, so now we've got our items right here. If you want to rearrange them, you just click on the actual list item and drag them up or down. Now, if you want to have multiple selected, this is a printable one. What you want to do is go ahead and select multiple selections. If you don't check this little checkbox, it'll only allow you to make one. In this case, I have ice cream selected here, so ice cream will become my default selection. If you don't want that, you got to deselect it, and you can't deselect by clicking around. You got to control click to deselect it. Okay, and that's it. That's all we've got. So going back over here, I'm going to go ahead and make a text box and say, choose as many desserts as you would like. Okay, so we've got a basic text field there. Let's go ahead and do File Save, Control S, Control E to export. And I'm going to export an Adobe PDF Interactive. Make sure it's not print, it needs to be interactive, and select your location, click Save. And it's going to say, hey, you've already got this one there. I'm going to go ahead and override it. You get your pop-up field here. I'm going to leave all the defaults except make sure you have created tagged PDF selected here and click Export. Mine's going to open up in Acrobat Reader. This is page 1 of the form here, and where I was working is way down here at the very bottom. Here is the field that I created. So there's my label, and you can see here I've got plenty of room here. Again, if you had made this box smaller, we'll go ahead and show you that in a minute. It would add a scroll bar. So I can select fruit. If I click another one, it selects pie, cake. If I want to select more than one, you have to use Control Click. So you might want to include that in your directions or description to use the Control key to select more than one. All right, I'm going to go ahead and close this out. I'm not going to save it. Go back to InDesign. And in this case here, I'm going to go ahead and select both of the frame and the rectangle, and I'm going to make it small, just like that. Hit Save and Export again. Overwrite my previous one. Same settings. And I'm going to open up here, scroll back down, and let's see what happened here. So down at the very bottom here, now you can see that when I jump in there, the scroll bar wasn't there, but now it is. Not a great interface, especially if you're trying to make more than one selection, because you can't actually see everything that you're doing. So I don't recommend you make it this way. If you want this type of selection field, you probably would be better going with a combo box, but a combo box only allows you to make a single selection. Otherwise, make sure your design accommodates for a taller design.